Hi everybody. Alright, so in the last video we got the EFI controller hooked up. You just saw it sort of glimmering on there for a second. In this video we're doing all of the cleanup work. So there's two Ethernet cables that come out of the ECUs and go over to the controller. We're going to shorten those up. Also, there is a connector that goes out of the back of the controller, and it is a bundle of wire. You can see it. I dropped it down there. It's dropping down to the center. And this is for some optional things for the system, right? It's so like fuel pump senses, the battery senses, the O2 wideband sensor, all those plug into the back of the controller, right? Because they're all optional, right? You're not required to have any of this stuff, but I would like to have it as it's what the system was designed to do. And let me just describe all of that. So there's 5 wires that go out of the back of the controller. 2 are used for the fuel pump sense, and what those will do, and you'll see me working on that here in a second, is that is a 12-volt line tapped directly off the power to the pump itself. So we have a Tyco relay, right, that sends out power to the fuel pumps, and which one that goes to is controlled by the EFI system. So one of the ways that it detects if your pumps are going bad is the voltage going down. For some reason, is this pump only pulling like 7 volts, while the system itself is, running at a very healthy 12 volts. Now, so that's just one of the ways to do it, right? And so that's what 2 of these wires are. So as it comes out of the relay here in a second, you'll see me tapping off of those lines, and each one of those wires goes back to the controller. 2 more other lines are the battery senses. So those actually plug directly into the bus manager. And they send you little pins, Molex pins to crimp on. So we're going to be running those over to where the bus manager is. As the bus manager has a bundle that sticks out of the bottom in its own 2-row Molex connector, we're just going to be putting our wires from the controller into that connector as well. Here you can see I'm taking a little bit of a break, and we are redoing the ammeter shunt. Well, just for a second there, because I didn't finish it yet. All right, so here is where the fuel relay is. So basically, the diagram just shows a wire as the fuel pump power goes from the relay down to the fuel pumps. It just shows a wire shooting off over to the controller. So what I've got are those real cool double-tabbed terminals, right? It's the female blade terminal adapter, and it's got a side male adapter sticking off the side. So then you can use another female adapter on that, and then splice. That's basically a splice for a female adapter, right? Those things are great. So that's what I'm doing here. As I described, the other 2 wires just plug into the bottom of the bus manager, which is good. And the 5th wire is for the wideband O2 sensor. Now, we really hadn't gone into too much depth with this. But anyone that's familiar with fuel-injected car engines knows that a closed fuel-injected loop starts and ends at the O2 sensor, right? The O2 sensor sits in the exhaust stream and lets you know exactly what the O2 content of the air is, thus being able to tell you how efficient your combustion is. Now, lead kills O2 sensors, and we'll get into all that later, but to finely tune your injection system, it's nice to being able to do that, because then you can get your fuel-air ratio, etc., etc., etc. So that's what we're doing there. Yes, it's lots of fun. Besides that, once we're done wiring all that in, that is actually it for the EFI system for now. We haven't hooked up the O2 sensor yet, only because we still haven't gotten our exhaust. Update on that. I've talked to the man at Vetterman's, and they are sending me an exhaust probably this week or next, which is awesome, so we can get that hooked up one step closer to flying. So, all right, hope the wiring explanation helps everyone. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Hope you're going to have a good week. See you soon.